Hi. Thanks for being here. Our practice today is going to focus on our joints and basically movement that will help the synovial fluid in our joints circulate more freely, nourishing the cartilage in our joints so that we don't have so much stiffness and maybe even pain in our joints. It's just to keep our joints a little healthier. So let's start off in a seated position. If it's not comfortable for you to sit like this, then it's fine for you to lie down for the centering process. Otherwise, if it's comfortable to sit, then go ahead and do that. Let your shoulders relax. Sit up tall. Close your eyes or soften your gaze and look at a little point out in front of you that's still, so that you can keep your gaze still. Or again, you could close your eyes. Just begin to settle into the position that you've chosen for yourself. Notice how you feel today, how you feel physically. Notice the level of your energy. Is it low? Is it high? Somewhere in between. Notice your state of mind, the state of your emotions. All those things that comprise the state of you. Notice the state of you overall. And little by little, begin to make your breath a little slower and a little smoother and a little longer. Make sure that you're completing your exhalation so that when you inhale, it tends to be more full, expansive. So you're making your breath just a little longer than it may have been when you first sat down or laid down. A little longer, a little more full, a little slower. Begin to make your inhale and your exhale about the same length if you haven't already. I'm looking for a comfortable rhythm, in and out, through the nose. A rhythm that you can maintain throughout your practice. Yours may be longer or shorter than mine. You're looking for your own personal breath rhythm so that when we start moving in a moment, you'll be able to maintain that breath rhythm. Keep it consistent throughout the practice. And gently open your eyes. If you're lying down, come to a seated posture. If you're seated, bring your legs out front. In any case, once you get to a seated posture, bring your legs out front. And then support yourself with your hands and back. And sit up tall. And then bring your toes back toward you. So when you do that, notice what you feel in the backs of your legs. But notice that your ankles are doing this movement, or this positioning. We're going to start the movement now. The next time that you take a breath in, bring your toes forward. Notice how that feels in the front of your ankles, in the front of your shins. And when you exhale, bring your toes back. Press your heels forward. And let's do that a few more times. So inhaling as your toes come forward, noticing what effect that has, what sensation you feel. And exhaling when you bring your heels forward and your toes back toward you. Let's do one more like that. So inhale and exhale. And then bring your feet close together. Turn the soles of your feet so they face each other as much as they will. And then the next time you inhale, turn your soles out. The movement's coming from the ankles again. So exhale, soles come towards each other. And when you inhale, the soles move away. Let's do that twice more. Exhale and inhale. Once more. Exhale and inhale. And then just let your feet and ankles relax and widen your feet. And then circle. Circle from the ankles. Just slow circles, noticing sensation in your feet, in your ankles, in your legs, and particularly in that ankle joint, but all the muscles and joints in your feet and toes are also involved here somewhat. And pause and go the other way. Slow, mindful circles. Here you're just breathing, not coordinating necessarily the movement to the breath, but aware that you are breathing still to your same breath rhythm. And then pause. Come onto your backs. If you'd like a blanket under your head, then place it there, blanket, or if you don't have a blanket, maybe a towel, folded towel, or a flat pillow, not a real puffy pillow, or nothing. You choose what you'd like. And then come onto your backs. Have your knees bent and feet on the floor. Pick up one foot. And then hold behind your knee with one or both hands. And you're bringing your knee in towards your chest. So it's some bend in your hip joint here. When you inhale, take your heel up towards the ceiling. And when you exhale, bring your knee and your thigh back in. Let's do that twice more. Inhale when you bring your heel up and you straighten your leg, and exhale when you bend your knee and draw in. So of course the joints that are mainly involved here are our hip and our knee. The next time that you inhale and bring your foot up, keep it up. Externally rotate from your hip, so that means your knee and your toes are facing outward. What we're going to be doing is sort of a figure eight type movement where we are externally rotating when we come out and then internally rotating when we come back in. So as you inhale, you bring your leg out to the side, and as you exhale, you internally rotate and come back to where you started, maybe even a little bit past. Let's do that twice more. So inhale and exhale. Notice what you feel in your hip joint especially. Inhale and exhale. And find your way back to the center. Bend your knee. Place your foot on the ground. Notice how this hip feels compared to the one that you haven't done as much movement with. Hip and knee. And so bring the other knee in towards your chest. Hold behind it with one or both hands. And draw it in towards your chest. When you inhale, straighten your leg, take your heel up. And when you exhale, bring your knee back in towards your chest. And do that twice more. So inhale up. And exhale in. Remember, you're using your breath rhythm. Notice what you feel in your knee joint, to some degree in your hip joint. When you finish that last one, go ahead and straighten the leg again. Externally rotate. And begin your figure eights. So inhale, sweep out. Exhale, internally rotate and sweep back in a little further. So 2 more like that. Inhale when you're moving out. Exhale when you're doing the inward movement. And when you finish that last one, come back to the center. Bend your knee, return your foot to the floor. Pair sides. Notice what the after effect of what you just did. Shift your hips to one side and roll to the other. Use your top hand to help push you up. And we'll come onto our hands and knees now for a posture called Apanasana, Chakrabakasana. So come down to your hands and knees. So right here, notice all the joints that are going to be involved here. We'll be lifting our chest and then coming down to child's pose. So as I'm doing that, the tops of my feet are stretching, tops of my feet, fronts of my ankles because of the positioning of my feet. My wrists are in a position where I'm feeling some sensation in my wrists. I'll be articulating my spine, I'll be bending my knees, I'll be bending my hips. So lots of joints involved here. Take a breath in, and as you do, lift your chest. And as you exhale, contract your abdominals, bring your elbows down, your chest down, your hips back, and let your neck relax down. And as you inhale, come back up, lift your chest once you're up. And when you exhale, come down again the same way. Elbows first, then the chest, then the hips move back, neck relaxes. Let's do 2 more like that. Coming up on your inhale, noticing all of the joints that are involved here. Down on your exhale. Last one. All the joints in the spine as well. And the next time you come up, stay up. And we'll find our way up to standing from here. So take your time getting up. Find your way up. And stand with your feet about hip joint distance apart. So the space between your feet will be maybe 4 or 6 inches, whatever feels comfortable for you. What we don't want is to be like a really narrow stance. We want it to be wide enough to support us and have us feel very stable. Okay, and then let's just jiggle a little bit. Kind of bounce your knees, bounce your hips, bounce your arms and your wrists. Anywhere you'd like to bounce, just kind of loosen up a little. All right, and then let that go. Bring your arms out in front. Bring your fingertips up. So it's kind of like you're pushing forward with the heels of your hands. And when you breathe in again, bring your fingertips down. And when you exhale, fingertips come up. When you inhale, fingertips down. So the joint here, continue. The joint here is your wrist that you're involving in this process, and you probably feel it all the way in your hands, your fingers, maybe further up your arm, but mainly your wrist here. And then let your hands just relax. You can keep your arms extended like this if you like, or you could keep your elbows down by your sides, but your hands are still forward. Turn your palms up and take a breath in. And when you exhale, turn your palms down and take them as far as your wrist will let them rotate. When you inhale, bring them up as far as they'll rotate. When you exhale, down. Let's do that a couple more times. So inhale, circling up, rotating up, and exhale, rotating down. Last one. relaxed. We're going to circle our wrists now, so you can have your hands open if that's more comfortable, or you could make fists, or just somewhere in the middle. And then just start circling your wrists. Do it slowly. Notice the sensation in your wrists, in your hands. Again, think of all the bones in your hands and the joints that connect those bones, as well as the joint, your wrist joint. And then pause and circle the other way. Have the idea that you're lubricating your joints here, because you are. And then let that go. Let your hands relax down for a moment. Bring your arms up like this, your hands up like this, bending your elbows. And your hands are nice and wide here. Really stretch your fingers out. What we're going to be doing is opening and closing our hands one joint at a time, really working with the joints in our fingers and hands. So wide first of all. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, one joint at a time, start closing your fingers and your thumbs toward the center of your hand, and maybe even bend your wrist forward a little. And when you inhale, reverse that. So the fingers start working their way open, fingers and thumb, and when you exhale, one joint at a time, back to the center. Let's do that a couple more times. So inhale to your breath rhythm, and exhale also to your breath rhythm. Last one. And when you finish, lower your arm, maybe shake your hands out a little bit, maybe open and close them a little bit, just kind of wiggle them. Bring your arms out in front. This time your palms are up. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, bend your elbows and bring your fingertips to your shoulders. When you inhale, straighten your arms again, palms up. When you exhale, bend your elbows, fingertips to the shoulders. Two more like that. This joint that we're working with is, of course, your elbow joint. Just bending and straightening it. Next time your fingertips are on your shoulders, keep them there and widen your elbows out to either side. Your upper arms are at about shoulder height. Next time you breathe in, take your elbows back and really widen across your chest. Bring your shoulder blades towards each other. And when you exhale, bring your shoulder blades apart and bring your elbows towards each other. You might even look down a little bit. Let's do that a few more times. So inhale, elbows out and back, shoulder blades together. Exhale, elbows come towards each other, kind of a rounding in the upper back. Twice more. And then lower your arms. Pause for a moment and notice how you feel. Now bring your arms up again, shoulder height. This time your hands are lifted, so you look sort of like a goalpost or a cactus. And you're going to leave your elbows right where they are, but you're going to take your hands down. So it's sort of a swiveling kind of movement. Take a breath in this position. And as you exhale, leave your elbows where they are, but take your hands down. They may only come a little ways down, it doesn't matter. When you inhale, swivel back up. And let's do that. Let's do that twice more. So exhale, swivel downward. Inhale, swivel up. Last one. And then lower your elbows, lower your arms. And I didn't say it while we were doing it, but that of course was targeting your shoulders, as did the one before where we were bringing our shoulder blades together. You probably noticed what it was targeting. You probably felt it. So come to the back of your mat now. We're going to do a warrior pose with our arms in different levels. So come to the back of your mat. Have your feet that hip joint distance apart. Step forward with one foot. The toes of the back foot can turn out a little bit. And aim your hips toward the front of towards the short end of your mat. Bend your front knee and lean forward just a little bit to take tension out of the low back is what we want here. This is a back bend, but it's in the upper back more than the lower back. All right, so here we go. Bring your arms to about a 5 o'clock position if you were a clock. Take a breath in. Arch your upper back as you do that. Keep your gaze level. And when you exhale, straighten your leg and lower your arms. Again, inhale, 5 o'clock position. And exhale out. I need to move over a little so I don't touch the wall. The next time we're going to bring our arms a little higher. So inhale, maybe a 3 o'clock position or so. And when you exhale, come out. And do that again. Inhale. Arch your upper back. Exhale out. Notice what you're feeling. A little higher with the arms in your knee, in your hip, in your spine, in your shoulders. Out on the exhale, do another one. Now pick the arm position that felt best for you and come back into the posture. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Each time that you inhale, feel your chest lifting. And each time you exhale, feel very stable. Feel your feet really pressing into the floor. 2 more. Inhale, feel that back bending quality. Exhale, feel the stability. Last one. Next time you inhale, arms come down, legs straighten, step your feet together. Pause for a moment. Notice how you feel. And then come to the back of your mat again. We'll do the other side, so step the other foot forward. Back toes can turn out a bit. Bend your front knee just till it's over your ankle, not any wider. And then bring your arms to that 5 o'clock position. Lean forward a little bit. As you inhale, arch your upper back. Bring your arms back a little bit. And when you exhale, come out. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. Again, I'm going to touch the wall if I don't move. So inhale. Higher arms this time. Exhale out. Again. Out on the exhale. And then higher if your shoulders will allow you. If not, just go to what feels best. Out on the exhale. Last one. And then the hold. So find the arm position that's right for you. Come into the posture. Stay here for 3 breaths. Expansion on the inhale. Stability on the exhale. 3 breaths. And when you finish your last one, lower your arms, straighten your legs, step your feet together, and pause. Now let's come down to standing on our knees. So take your time getting down. So you're standing on your knees. Now have your hands behind you, resting on your low back with your palms facing outward. If this is uncomfortable for your shoulders, if it's too much, You could bring your hands down to your sides, but still have your palms facing back so that you have a little internal rotation in your shoulders. Because when we sweep our arms up, we're going to externally rotate them, as we do. And we're just alternating between the internal and external rotation. So this is for your shoulders. It's also your hips are going to be bending, your knees are going to be bending, tops of the feet and ankles are stretched. Lots of stuff here. And your spine, of course, is articulating. This is a forward bend, so it's stretching the back of your spine. Bring your hands behind you. On your inhale, sweep your arms up. And as you exhale, bring them back where they were. Simultaneously bend from your hips. Bring your chest down, your hips back. Let your neck relax down. And when you inhale, come back up again, sweeping the arms wide. Down on your exhale. Let's do 2 more. So come up on your inhale. And down on your exhale. Moving and breathing on the slow side. Last one. And when you finish your last one and you come back up again, just lower your arms rather than coming down and come to a seated posture. I recommend sitting on a blanket or a bolster, maybe a bolster if you have one. Something to elevate your hips. Blanket, 2 blankets, bunch of blankets, whatever puts you at the right hip height so that your legs can relax down and your spine can be straight. Or long, at least. Okay. So now here we're going to do some side bending. Bring your hands down to either side. Take a breath in. So your spine lengthens when you do that. When you exhale, just let one hand slide along the floor as your side bending. When you inhale, come up. And when you exhale, slide along the floor, bend to the side. Let's do 2 more to each side. So it's the exhale when you side bend. You're bending directly to the side as much as possible. The inhale that brings you up. And just 1 more to each side now. Noticing as you do this where you feel it. That was a side bend which put our spine in a peculiar position, an unusual position. So we want to bring our spine back to neutral before we do any other peculiar things to it. So we're going to forward bend. Take a breath in, nice tall spine. And as you exhale, bend forward from your hips. Keep your spine neutral. Try not to let your upper back round. So you may not come very far, and that's fine. When you inhale, lead with your chest as you come up. And let's just do that a few times. So exhale helps to contract your abdominals too as you come down. It supports your low back. When you inhale, lead with your chest to come up. Let's do 1 more. Maybe 2 more. One more. Down on your exhale. And up on your inhale. Okay. So now we're all neutral. Time to twist our spines. So take a breath in, nice and tall. And as you exhale, twist to one side. Let your hands just follow the movement. One hand comes behind you, the other one rests on a part of you. And you look over that back shoulder. And when you inhale, come forward again. And when you exhale, twist. Let's continue doing that. So inhale to the center and exhale to twist. Inhale to the center Exhale to twist. It also helps to use your abdominals as you're doing this. Let's do one more round. So back to the center. And exhale and twist. Look over that back shoulder. Back to the center on the inhale. And when you exhale, twist. Back to the center on the inhale. Pause for a moment. Notice how you feel. We'll be doing a forward bend in a minute, a lying down version of a forward bend in a minute, but let's work with our neck a little bit first. The vertebra in the neck, or those are also joints in between our vertebrae, or all along our vertebrae. Okay, so bring your chin down towards your chest. And as you inhale, lift your chin back to where it was and maybe just a little bit up. So you feel a little bit of stretch in your throat, maybe your chest. And when you exhale, bring your chin back down again. Notice what you feel in the back of your neck in particular. When you inhale, come up. And when you exhale, come down again. Next time you inhale, just bring your head just to level. And with your next exhalation, turn your head like you're looking over your shoulder. When you inhale, come to the center. Same thing to the other side. So the exhalation brings you into that turning of the head. It's essentially a twist for your neck. When you inhale, come to the center. Exhale, go back to that first shoulder. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale and twist, turn, and then back to the center on the inhale. Okay, so now we're going to work kind of with these muscles right in here. They're just that part that supports your neck. Okay, so bring one shoulder up towards your ear. Keep track of which one you start with. One shoulder up to your ear and your ear down towards your shoulder, as if you're trying to squeeze something between your neck and your shoulder. Stay here and breathe. Really, really squeeze that. Maybe it's like a walnut or golf ball, whatever you envision squeezing there. But do squeeze it intentionally. And then relax, let the shoulder go down, the head come up. Now you're going to take your head over to the other side, so the opposite ear comes close to the shoulder on this side. And then take your hand on that first side out to the side and push down with the heel of your hand. Just stay here and breathe. Feel that lengthening sensation all along the top side of your neck. Take a few breaths here. And then bring your head up, let your arm relax down. Pause for a moment and compare sides of the neck. So now remember I told you to remember which shoulder you started with. We're going to go over to the other shoulder now. So lift that shoulder up, bring your ear down towards your shoulder and squeeze your imaginary object there. Stay here for a little while, squeezing, breathing. And then relax. Let your head go over to the other side. Your ear comes towards the opposite shoulder. Your shoulder doesn't lift, it's just your ear towards the shoulder. And then take your opposite hand out. Press through the heel of your hand. Stay here and breathe. And then relax the arm down, let your head come up. Pause for a moment. Maybe roll your shoulders a little bit. Feels good to do that. And now we're going to do that forward bend that I told you about, but it is going to be on our back. And this one is called Apanasana. I called the other one that by mistake earlier. So come down to your back. Cushioning under the head if you like. And prick up one foot. Place your hand on that knee. Pick up the other foot. Place your hand on that knee. Have your elbows extended. Excuse me. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, press your low back down, draw your abdominals in, and draw your knees in towards your chest. Feel the stretch in the low back. When you inhale, move away. And continue doing that. Excuse me, exhaling when you come in. Inhaling when you move away. So here are the joints that are moving for us, or of course our hip joint, joints in the lower spine, the elbows. Next time your knees are away from you, keep them there. Return one foot at a time to the floor. Bring your arms out to either side with your palms up. And they're a little bit kind of a V shape away from your body. You can leave your knees bent if you like this. Or you can extend your legs into Shavasana posture. So this is Shavasana posture. And if you're comfortable here, then do stay here. This will be our relaxation period. So if you're comfortable here, stay right where you are. If you're not, then adjust yourself so that you are comfortable. If you don't like your arms here, put them where they are comfortable. If you don't like your legs straight, position them the way you'd like. Just make yourself comfortable. I'm going to come up to a seated position. You stay where you are. I'm going to come up to a seated position, guide you through Shavasana. All right, so let yourself be comfortable. Settle in. Take the time to allow that to happen. Let yourself find a place of comfort. Little by little, start to notice your breath. There's no need to keep your intentional lengthening and fullness of breath. You can just let your breath be comfortable, however it would like to flow. But do notice it. Notice how it's flowing. Let it find its own quiet rhythm, just wherever it would like to be, whatever length, whatever depth, whatever smoothness it would like to have. Comfortable. And just follow the wave-like pattern of the breath in and out. Just like a wave. Let both your inhale and your exhale be fluid and effortless. And breath by breath, find stillness. Find the stillness that lies within you. That quiet place beneath all the busyness, all the doing that happens every day, all the worries. Find that still, quiet place. And let yourself linger there once you've found it. Enjoy this quiet moment. In about 2 minutes, I'll be using the singing bowl to bring us back, but do rest here, quiet. Relaxed. Deepen your breath. Be especially aware of your inhalation, the quality that the inhalation brings to your system. And then just start moving a little at a time. Maybe start with your fingers and toes. Maybe circling the wrists and ankles. If it feels good to stretch, then stretch. And then bend your knees and roll to one side into a fetal position. And from there, use your top arm to help you get up. Push yourself up. Come to a seated posture. And take a moment to notice all your joints and how they feel now. So thanks for coming, joining me. Namaste.